All right, so I picked a page, a moment in this story. You're fine. Because of its inequities, Dad questioned his future in professional baseball. Although my dad knew that the black press, some liberal sports writers, and a few politicians were fighting for an end to the Jim Crow baseball, he had little faith that it would happen in his lifetime. So I'd like you to find a spot in the room, and you're going to create a tableau as if you were Jackie Robinson in this moment of questioning. So pantomime is acting without words. It's showing actions and emotions. So it's kind of like pressing play on a frozen tableau, right? And you get to see the actions play out. It's also expressing meaning through gesture and through movement, right? So a gesture is like waving hello, right? You don't have to say hello. We all know what this means. It's communicating something. Something we were talking about in Thessalonians group was going through text features, right? And coming up with, like as a class, you would come up with a gesture anytime you see like a bold word, the whole class could like do a gesture, like bold word or something like that.
2, 1, action!
This is an alley. This is her house. What happened?
Found a friend.
I found a friend. Let's start from the beginning. I want evidence, and I want to know from the beginning, what did you see?
You were not happy. You were sad.
What's your evidence? How did you know that?
Your face, through your body language.
My body language slumped, my facial expressions was sad, and my head was down, and
You were shuffling.
I was dragging my feet and shuffling. Great evidence. What happened next?
You practiced the violin.
Not happily.
How'd you know I didn't like the violin? What
Because
evidence?
you were kind of like flinging it around a little bit.
I was flinging
You
around.
puffed when you picked it up.
Yep.
What?
You puffed when you picked it up, like,
Oh, I
again.
made an exasperated sound.
Yeah.
Your face was not
My
lit
face
up.
was not happy. I made an exasperated sound when I picked it up.
We're very willing to get rid of it and trade.
I love that. Never heard that one before. I was very willing to give it up. So, I don't like to play the violin. I look sad, bored, not content. I come over here. What's going on here?
You see
It's up the
something
window.
or someone.
I noticed something. Okay, how did I react?
You got to say that. Excited.
What did I act before that though?
Curious.
What?
Curious.
How do you know?
Because your eyes went, like, your eyebrows raised. You're like, what is that?
You were like on your tippy toes, like what?
I was on my tippy toes, my eyebrows were wide open. I was looking both ways to see. I looked both ways before I opened that window. Jake in the setting first? Or Jack, sorry. Or would you do it like that's last or pretend he's not there, you know what I mean? Does it not matter?
That is a good question. I could see you going both ways, but maybe I think I would put him in last. Like, so let's build this environment first and then say, where's Jack? Right. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, action. That's my favorite one. So maybe Jack finds a seat. We'll see how students react. Okay. You're being invited over here.
She's such a TA.
Teacher Alright, so now hopefully your bag of arts integration is a little bit fuller with tableau, pantomime, brainstorming dialogue, character observation. Is there anything you need more details on for either of these strategies? So now your task, we're going to put you into groups and give you an excerpt from Esperanza Rising, and I want you as a group to think about how would you best communicate this scene. Are you thinking like a critical moment to stop and have students create a tableau? Would you pantomime this out? Would you maybe there's a dialogue in the scene, but before we read the dialogue of the scene, can students brainstorm and predict what might the dialogue be first? All right, so you get to choose which strategy you want to use for the scene from Esperanza.
The border at Mexicali in the morning. Finally, the train stopped moving and everyone disembarked. The land was dry and the panorama was barren except for date palms, cactus, and an occasional squirrel or roadrunner. The conductor herded everyone into a building where they stood in long lines waiting to pass through immigration. Esperanza noticed that the people in the first cars were escorted to the shortest lines and passed through tableau.
Why am I in the back? Why do most people get to go before me?
I'm just so unsure about everything. My life is totally changing, and I don't know what's going to happen to me next.
I'm exhausted. All I've been doing is carrying this suitcase around forever. Let's see.
Bringing back the joy of reading.
Yeah.
So getting away from EL, but like I know one of my goals one time was to kind of like do book talks and morning meeting. That you could even have like if you had a group reading a book in guided reading because they were a higher level or whatever on their own, they could then do like a tableau or something during morning reading to hopefully inspire
Like a
another
book
kid
trailer
to read.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, that's really
So
cool.
that way
I
it
love
doesn't
that.
have to directly tie to
That's
EL.
a great thing, like after you
curriculum.
have to recess or like they just have reading and a little read just to calm them down and get them focused again. So what a great idea.
Get into the scene before you start.
It's also a good way to get maybe a kid that's kind of reluctant to be like acting and out of the box, so they could be the narrator.
I think it would be really cool in Esperanza too, for when the piece comes up when you talk about the literal and the figurative language for all the metaphors. If you had two groups and one did the literal meaning and one did the figurative language, so they could see. Because my kids are always amazed, every year they're always amazed at how they just read through it, and then when we go back and we like talk about the real meaning behind it, it's like their brains explode.
For grade 3 module 1.
So grade 3 module 1, why would it work so well for grade 3 module 1?
Because we have to, we're learning about how difficult it is for different students to get to books or get to reading. So with Rain School, you learn about the students having to travel and then build their school before they can even start learning. So this right here would be a good way to talk about how difficult it is for them to get to their learning.
So get to experience what those characters are going to. Would you be the character, or would you have one of your students be the character?
I think I would be the character.
First, right? Cool.